Welcome to this series of videos. My aim here is to explore various aspects of language. Some of these explorations will consider a specific language, often Latin. Others will be directed to language in general. Sometimes I will discuss a particularly detailed point of grammar. Other times, the reflection will be more philosophical in nature. In this way, the range of these reflections will underscore and imitate the dynamics of language itself. You see, language doesn't just happen at the level of the details. Each individual language is governed by a philosophy. That is, a set of intuitions concerning how to make meaningful statements about the world, and a set of values and practices that are variously ranked according to different standards of evaluation. Ease of use, clarity of expression, whether it sounds fancy or common, etc. And each dialect of a language represents a particular take on the philosophy of the larger language, emphasizing some aspects while de emphasizing others, intensifying some commitments while challenging others. Further, each individual language user represents yet another take on both the philosophy of the dialect and of the larger language, shaped by and shaping that user's particular encounter with the world and others. Therefore, to understand language well, it is necessary to be attentive to these larger dynamics. But language also doesn't happen on the macro level in abstraction from the details. Every utterance is put together from fundamental building blocks. Individual sounds, words made up of those sounds that bear inherent meaning, different forms into which those words may be placed, and the relations of those words to other words and structures in actual sentences. These details are decisive for the particular meaning of anything said, and are the condition of the possibility of any communication at all. Now, all languages don't work alike, and this must be insisted upon with rigor, or we will, in our imaginations, crush the many differences between language systems that are one of the principal joys of linguistics. And yet, languages are not unrelated to one another, even the most distant, in how they go about making meaning. For every language has in common that it expresses human thoughts, and does so using human physical organs, and that its images are drawn from this one world we all inhabit. Human thought, while capable of dizzying diversity, is not infinitely diverse, nor are the possibilities of human sound, nor is the world as we encounter it. There are therefore both subjective and objective correspondences that underlie the development of human languages. This said, my musings here will largely be restricted to the Indo-European family of languages, comprising the Romance, Greek, Germanic, Slavic, and Indic groups of languages, to name just perhaps the most dominant ones. My expertise is mostly confined to this group, and so I will confine myself to it, or speak with a great deal of apologies if I venture outside of it. You will, depending on who you are, find some of these reflections obvious and rudimentary, and others perhaps excessively obtuse and academic. I hope that you will bear with the one and excuse the other. But I have labored to try to keep them from being either tiresome or pedantic. What will emerge, with glacial eventuality, is something of my own philosophy and understanding of language, which underlines how I teach, write, speak, think, and all manner of other things. And so, while I hope to make language a touch clearer for you, I may in the end have to content myself with having made myself somewhat clearer. Cheers.